Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I have another customer thank you card. And apparently my customers love the new ink colors as much as I do, because I feel like all the cards that I've made for this week's YouTubes are all about the ink colors. So this customer, among other things, purchased the beautiful ribbons. I absolutely love these ribbons. And here they are. They are so soft. They're called an open weave ribbon, but I think they're more like an organza ribbon. They have a beautiful little shimmer to them. And they do have a nice open space in the middle. I absolutely love them, love them, love them. And I've been using them so much. So I came up with this card to showcase all of the ribbons because I wanted all of the colors on the card. And what I used was the Brilliant Wings dies. Now the Brilliant Wings dies, most of them, let me go backtrack a bit. They coordinate with the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. And it is like the Many Messages stamp set, just one big piece. So you would stamp the whole thing, and then the dies cut out the whole thing all at once. That's fine and dandy, but I wasn't stamping. I just wanted to die cut. So what I used, move my stamp out of the way. What I used from the die was this large solid butterfly and this detailed butterfly, because it does also come with one detailed butterfly. See that? And that is how I made my card. Now I did all of my die cutting ahead of time because it was a little time consuming, and I didn't want to do it all online. So I've die cut them all, and I've put them all together except for one. And when we get to that point of the card, I will show you how I did that. But anyway, the card base is thick, basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then my card front is basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. Now you can't see it too much, but I scored the edges of it just to give it a little bit of dimension, and I'm going to do that with you. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and on each one of the sides, I'm going to bring this up to, here's the one on this side, so it would be the 1/4, so the first large tick line there, and I'm going to score, and then I'm going to scooch this over 1/8 of an inch and score again. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and do the same thing. And you can certainly do whatever dimensions you want. I just wanted something small so that my butterflies would all fit. I've done this on a couple different projects over the years, and it is a nice way to add a little something to the front of your card. So there it is. Now, let me bring it up close to the camera. Okay. This side here is the debossed side, and this side here is the embossed side. And I think I used the embossed side on the other card. And I think I'm going to use the debossed side this time. So that is my base. Then I have about 7 inches of all of the ribbons in all the different colors. So the first thing I want to do is find center, and that's my center right there. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put adhesive along that strip, and I'm going to line up my darkest green, evening evergreen, and I'm going to attach that there. Then to the right of that, I have my polished pink, and I'm going to do the same. And then I have my soft succulent, and I'm going to do the same there. And I want these kind of I want them to be evenly spaced out. Okay, and there's that. Now I have to do the other side. First up is the pale papaya. And next is the fresh freesia. And I'm just going to pull that down. Now, they don't look entirely centered, so I'm going to just scooch this evergreen one over a tad. And okay, and there we go. And that's how I got that beautiful design. So now I'm going to turn it over, and what I want to do is, I don't want to pull too hard, because then it'll, oh, I have to put some adhesive on the bottom end. I don't want to pull too hard because it'll buckle. So I just want to give it a nice little, make it nice and taut, and wrap it up. Again, give it nice and taut, but without making it buckle. And if your ribbon is, the top ribbon is on crooked, your bottom ribbon obviously is going to be crooked too. So you do want to make sure that you have that nice and straight. Okay, oh, this one fell off. Let me come back to this one here. There. And I probably didn't need 7 inches of ribbon. I probably could have done it with 6. I mean, this piece of cardstock is 4 1/4 by 5 and 4 by 5 1/4. So I could have done 6 inches. And there's that. And then I just want to turn it over to make sure that they're all straight. And if they're not, I will just adjust them. Scooch this one over just a tiny bit. And if you cut your ribbon too short, then you run the possibility of not having enough here to tug them with. So now that I'm happy with where they all are, I will cut the backs of these off, because I don't want a lot of extra bulk behind my card. Okay. Now I'm going to attach my card to my front, and I want to give it a little bit of lift. This one here, I used the, what's the name of them? The foam adhesive strips, and I have a nice, you can see that, a nice dimension there. You can use dimensionals if you don't have that. My only advice would be, if you're using dimensionals, to make sure you put enough on so that it doesn't cave in the middle. And I'm going to use that score mark as my guide. I'm going to put my foam strip right inside that score line so that I have it evenly spaced all along my card. And then I have this one here, a little strip left over. It fits perfectly. I'm going to grab another strip. And again, I'm going to use that score line as my guide. And I think I just need another piece that's about 1 inch for that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my center piece in first, because I do want a piece in the center so that my center doesn't cave in. So you are going to use a lot of foam strips here. Okay. And now I just want to finish my total rectangle, excuse me. Okay. So there we have the back. That's what the back of it looks like. So now I'm going to just peel these all off. And the one in the center. And now I'm just going to place that on the front of my card. And it already gives it some nice dimension. The butterflies are going to give it even more dimension. So I've put all my butterflies together except for one because I did want to show you how I did it. Here is my solid. This is the evening evergreen. Here's my solid butterfly. And here is my intricate butterfly. With my glue stick, my glue pen, excuse me, I'm going to put some adhesive along the middle of the butterfly, his body, and along his antenna because I don't want those getting caught on anything. And then I'm going to just attach it to the solid one. And press that down. Now I still happen to have some old basic jewels that Stampin' Up! Used to sell that are stringed together. So I was just able to count down 3 and separate them and put them in the middle of my butterfly's body. If you don't have ones that are attached, it'll be a little more time consuming, but you would just place them on one by one. So now I have all of my butterflies, and what I'm going to do is just lift the wings up a little bit, just to give it some more dimension. Now obviously, if you put this in an envelope and it goes through the mail, the wings will flatten out. But even if they do flatten out, because they're not attached, they will show a little bit of dimension. Okay, so there they are. Now we have our card. And we're just, before we do anything, we're just going to dry fit to make sure that we like the placement. Oh, I put mine on differently from the other side. All right, my colors are in an opposite direction. And wherever you want them to be, they don't have to be just like mine. Okay, and mine's going to be different from my other one. All right, there we go. Now, the way I attached them, you're going to use a lot of glue dots for this. First, I'm going to attach the butterfly, and then I'm going to go in and secure my ribbon. So what I did for each butterfly is I put a glue dot on the top and on the bottom of his body, of their body. And then I just placed it, give it a push. Okay? And again, it's on the top of the body and the bottom of the body. You could certainly do it on their wings as well, but I didn't. I chose not to. Again, top of the body, bottom of the body. And I guess if you wanted to, you could even just put them on with dimensionals, but I thought the card had enough dimension with all of the foam tape. Okay. I'm going to just adjust this one. I think I want to move this one down and off to the side a bit. Okay, so now that we have the butterflies all attached, we're going to come in and we're going to attach the ribbon so that the ribbon is a little more secure. So with a glue dot, again, I'm going to put a glue dot on my pierce tool, and I'm just going to slide it in under the body. And there we go. And now that ribbon is nice and secure. you drop that butterfly back down, just make sure that your ribbon hasn't shifted and it's still straight. Nope. All right. And believe it or not, we're done. Isn't that pretty? I love it, love it, love it. Got nice dimension and it's beautiful colors and it's so simple. Now, I obviously don't have space to put a sentiment on the front of the card, but on the inside I can make it a note card, I can make it a birthday card, thinking of you, get well, whatever the occasion is. And here you can see when I placed my panel on, I had it turned the other way so the colors are in the opposite direction, but two different looks, and the butterflies are also spaced differently on them. However you like it, there's no right or wrong. If you have any questions at all about this project or any of the products I used, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And if you do not have a demonstrator with whom you work, certainly contact me and I will be glad to pop a new catalog in the mail to you. And while you're here, if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I'll catch you back here for another video soon.